My story begins with the fall of the World Trade Center towers on September 11, 2001. This event rocked the nation and united the American people. The media, especially television news, was given a jolt of life and, more importantly, an overabundance of important news to report, and journalists rose to the occasion. News networks provided 24-hour commercial-free coverage of the aftermath, sacrificing millions in advertising revenue. While most New Yorkers stayed in their homes and didn't go to work, journalists were out in the streets bringing the news to people's televisions. People became dependent on the television as their only source of information, and soon the government began to take advantage of this dependence to control public opinion. With government approval ratings at historical highs, the government began to introduce new laws like the Patriot Act, which limited the civil liberties of Americans in the name of preventing terrorism. To essentially advertise these initiatives, the government flooded the media with misleading buzzwords and misinformation, and basically controlled the information that people were receiving from the source that they trusted the most. A study by researchers from the University of South Carolina shows that the more time people spent watching television news, the more likely they were to support government actions, even if they were liberals. Whereas in the case of print media, the more time people spent reading newspapers, the more their own beliefs would be confirmed. More and more, this administration began to resemble the American government during the Cold War and Senator Joseph McCarthy's ignominious House of Un-American Activities Committee. It is noteworthy that at the time, it was a media figure, Edward R. Murrow, who successfully censured McCarthy. He is remembered today as the greatest journalist in the history of broadcasting. The media is supposed to be a watchdog for the public, but following 9/11, it became a tool of the government. The media needs to find that sense of urgency, as it did immediately after the terrorist attacks, in reporting the correct and complete news in the interest of the public, instead of feeding off whatever it deems marketable and regurgitating that constantly. There needs to be true, intelligent analysis of the news. The American people desperately need it.